Hey guys, recognize this rifle? No? Well, stick around for a few minutes and I will explain what it is. Alright, those of you that have been with my channel for a while may remember this rifle. I built this maybe 2.5 years ago, and this was the rifle that I called my budget build. I wanted to see how inexpensive I could build a rifle that still had decent quality parts on it. So everything that's on this rifle is made in the USA. There's nothing Chinese on it. And I got away with making this entire rifle, or building this entire rifle, for $503. Now I know I could have built it for less money than that, but I would have had to have gone with some very, very cheap parts. Now one of the parts that's on here, which is the lower receiver, that is a new Frontier lower receiver. And for those of you that have never heard of that brand, this is a polymer lower. Now I had several different people that made comments that didn't think that this polymer lower would last. And you know, there still are people on the fence about polymer lowers, or there's people that still just will not even consider a polymer lower. But this is what I wanted to discuss with you guys today. Okay, so here it is. The new Frontier polymer lower. Now I purchased this as a complete lower for $99. And I did some research before I bought it, just to make sure that it was going to be a decent quality part. Now I was unable to find any videos where any of these lowers have failed as far as breakage or cracks. Now even today there are zero videos out there about these things failing. But if you do look up polymer, you know, the new Frontier lowers, there are several out there that say fail on it, but those are all people whining about how they had to modify the holes for the pin sets. You know, they didn't fit, they were too tight or something. Well, if you look on New Frontier's website, they specifically say this lower is designed for the New Frontier polymer lower parts kit. And that's exactly what this had on it when I bought it. The entire lower parts kit was polymer, with the exception of the springs and the bolt catch. Everything else was polymer. The trigger's polymer, the hammer's polymer, the takedown pins and pivot pin are polymer. Even the detents in here are polymer. I have since switched out the pins for Yankee Hill easy pulls, and I also put the steel detents in there as well, but everything else is polymer. My intentions with this lower, after all the doubters and the naysayers about not thinking that this lower would actually survive, my whole idea behind it was to put 1,000 rounds through it and then do a review on it. Well, shortly after I finished this rifle, Sandy Hook happened, and then there was a scare of a ban, and the panic buy started, and you know, we had that ammo shortage that lasted for quite a long time, and here we are 2.5 or so years later, and I just finally put 1,000 rounds through it. I just got up to that count, and I have gone through every single inch of this lower, and there are 0 cracks. I mean, this has performed very, very well. I have had 0 issues with its performance, none whatsoever with the entire rifle. It has shot all 1,000 rounds flawlessly, no problems whatsoever. So this new Frontier lower has performed flawlessly. Now, this is probably the only one that I would personally recommend to anyone, because all the other brands, it seems, have failed in one way or another. Cracked, split, or just completely broken. You know, I've seen there was one torture test, I believe it was on an ATI, where a guy threw it at his van, and it hit the van and just shattered. But this new Frontier, nothing bad to say about it. It's just performed fantastically. Zero issues. So I don't expect to ever have any problems with it. And if you look on New Frontier's website, they have torture videos where they put this lower through many different tests, and it didn't fail for them. So I'm not expecting it to ever fail for me. You know, I don't treat my firearms roughly. You know, I treat them like they're all safe queens. You know, I mean, when I set my rifle down on the counter, you know, I set it down gently. I don't drop it. I don't throw my guns. I don't do anything, you know, that's going to damage them at all, because I like my firearms to look nice, you know, not have any scratches and stuff on them. But anyway, if there is a polymer lower that is worth buying, it's the new Frontier. So I just wanted to do this 1,000 round review just to let you guys know that there's nothing wrong with the new Frontier lowers. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.